Nurul sir.
Yeah. I'm saying he's trying to play. He's trying to play.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Professor Vivi, please play the Saraswati Vandana. Hello. Hello. Your mic enable. Unmute. You are mute. Unmute. Hello. Professor Vivi, please play the Saraswati Vandana and unmute yourself. Play the Saraswati Vandana. Yeah. Hello.
So we start workshop.
Yeah. You play the Saraswati Vandana right now. Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can please you play the Saraswati Vandana.
Okay.
Sudah tolong bilang seorang pembantu. Kita tahu tuh isi sini kok. Ini tuh 276. या श्वेत पद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युत शंकर प्रभृतिः देवैः सदा सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा या ब्रह्म विचारसार
%19 मांगता है। फिर मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी 1 घंटा।
एक दिन पूरा नहीं आएगा फिर हम
पद्मासने संस्थितां वन्दे तां परमेश्वरीं भगवतीं बुद्धिप्रदां शारदाम्।
Okay, thank you. And before proceeding further, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to Director KIT Dr. Brijesh Pashkar sir, Dean of Engineering Faculty, Menedo State University, Dr. Eddie Kembuan, coordinators of this session, Dr. Nurul Islam and Professor Vivi Rantang, and of course the guest speaker, Mr. Rajat Goel. We have already dealt with day one, in which Mr. Rajat has already explained the introductory part of Python. And now may I request Mr. Rajat Goel to please proceed with the session.
Okay, let me start for the day 2, and I hope you all can hear me, isn't it? You all can hear me, isn't it? I am audible, isn't it? Ma'am, you can
I
hear me?
often do multiple sharing. Because you can try it now.
Okay, so let me go further in day 2 of this session. We will talk more about some of the basic operators here in day 2, and of course for the string, and if there is time, then we will also talk about the conditional statement available in Python and for loop also. So for the basic understanding of the operator, let me start with the arithmetic operators. So for arithmetic operators, I can use shell. As you know, yeah, yesterday I have talked that if I want single line execution at instead while pressing the enter key, then we can use shell as well. So yeah, what if let's talk about the arithmetic operator. Let's for addition works the same like in any other programming language. Actually, the arithmetic operator in the Python is similar we use in other programming languages as well. So it is 5. Or what if I do float?
I'm sorry, sir. You know, share screen.
Okay, I think I haven't
Yeah.
screen. Sorry.
All of you, please maintain your decorum and mute your side. And
You all can see my screen, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, you can see it now. Thank you.
New shell. Let me close from.
Raja sir, we can't hear you. You put your mobile near to your mouth so we can hear you.
Okay, let me do my headphone like this. I hope it will be okay.
Now it's okay. You can start now.
1 second. Am I audible now clearly?
Okay, it's okay. Perfect. Now perfect. You can start.
Okay, thanks. So let's talk about the operator, arithmetic operator. Arithmetic operator is similar that we use any other programming languages as well. And even if you are aware of JavaScript and other scripting language, arithmetic operator is somehow similar or same. So I am using shell as I want to see result instantly when while pressing the enter at the end of the every line, just for the sake of the operators. So what if we do addition of two integer values? Okay, we got 6, it is adding the integers. And what if I do addition of one integer value and one float value? Will it happen or not? Let's see. So yeah, it is giving float. As I talked yesterday, Python takes the type of data by itself. So it can add one integer and one float, and the resultant is float. And what if I do like this, 2 plus, and if we put single quotes for the string and there is a number, will it happen? Let's see. No, it will not. It is saying that integer value and string values can't be added. So we even if we are using the numerical string, we can't add it. But what if I do like this? What? Okay, so what it is doing, it is concatenating the string. If you see, it is not actually adding it, it is doing concatenation over the string. So this is the addition operator. Let's and differential is the same as we do in other programming languages. This is the subtraction, addition, subtraction. Let's see the multiplication one like this. It is working the same, and division, of course. And what if there is a remainder after the division? Let's see. 34 divided by 7. You can see it is throwing decimal values as well. What about the modulo? Okay. Let's take different number. You can see the modulus operation here as well. There is a one some more operator doing some more stuffs here, like a double asterisk sign. What if we put double asterisk sign between 2 and 3? Actually, what the significance of double asterisk sign? It is a, the power operator, or you can say it is a raising power 2 over 3 over the 2. So what will be the output? It will be similar as 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2, that is 8. Okay. And as you have seen, when I was dividing 34 by 7, there was a decimal value. But what if I want only the integer part? We don't have to typecast or anything. We can use double division operator for getting the only the integer value if we want. Okay, so these are some arithmetic operators that we use in Python, and there are some logical operators as well. And what we do for logical operators, let me switch to my IDE so that I can explain you better. So let's take some notes also here for the basic thing. I'm making notes as well for you. uh, Arithmetic operators. What I have used addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, of course, double asterisk, and double division sign. Okay, every operator have their own usability. Like for this operator was addition. Okay, let me throw some shortcuts so that I can cover more and more action. And this was for multiplication, and this was for division. The power operator, we can say exponent as well. And this one was for integral division. This was for integral division. So here there are some basic arithmetic operators that we use in Python: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, exponent, and integral division as well. For logical operators, and, or, and, not. These are the some basic logical operators: and, or, and not. What and do if there are two things like true, and there is a operator and between two.
Participant, please make decorum, because there will be disturbance. So please.
Yeah. If there are two true statement and we are putting and in between them, okay, then what will be the value? It will say true. Okay, like this. And if any of there is a false value in either of the side, then it will return false. And what or do, you know, the basic logical or operation, and not it inverse the operation. So these are the basic logical operator. You will get it understand when I will use I will use equation as well. These are the basic logical operators and arithmetic operators we use in Python. These are the actually most important ones that we use in almost of the programs. So let's talk more about. Yesterday we have talked about how to display output over the output screen. Now let's see how can we input data from the user. Here, if you could see in my no, here I have thing. So what we have to do to take input from the user? Variable A, and we want some data from the user to this variable A. What we have to do? We can just simply use if statement to get the input from the user for this variable, and we can also display a message or prompt to the user to say, hey, just enter something so that the system can get it. So yeah, what I'm going to say, enter equal, enter enter something. I'm going to say something like that. Someone mic is not mute or open. I request all the participants to hold mic that everyone can hear properly, or I'm requesting admin to mute the mic of all the participants. Thank you. So here taking input to the variable A from the user side. Okay, so what I have used input function to take input from the user. And to show this input, what I'm going to do, what user have entered, I'm going to say print statement. And there is a message also, you have entered the variable name that I have talked about yesterday. How can we get variables and a string in a single print statement? What we have to do, we just have to separate it up by a comma statement, comma. Okay, so what it will do, enter something, it is a with the input function, it will ask user to enter the data, and the entered data will go to sorry, will go to A, and in print statement I'm throwing data out for a display screen. Okay, so let me run this and let's see the output what we are getting. Okay, it's running. You can see in output screen, it is saying enter something, the same thing that I have entered here for a message. And what if I enter 45 here? It is saying you have entered 45. So here is a question. Python takes its data type by default. When we are doing something, we can say that, yeah, when we assign the values like a equal to 45, Python can understand if there is a single code, it is a string. If there is a no single code, then it is an integer. But how in input statement, what is the data type of 45 here? So let's find it out. What is the data type of A? And I have used a type function to determine the data type of the variable. Okay, so let's see the type of A. Okay, what is its data type? Either it is a integer, float, or a string value, whatever. Let's find it out. So type of A, type of variable, just for the convenience so that we can understand. This is the line. Here we are getting the type of the variable. This is just a message. And let's see the type of A. In Python, by default type, when we are when we ask the user to input anything, the by default type is always a string value. Let's see if I'm correct. So here it is asking me to enter something. Let's see, say a number, and here you can see it is a string. So if it is a string, even I am entering the numeric value, it will not apply arithmetic operator or basic operator as we want. So what we have to do to make it integer. So this is a typecasting in Python, and typecasting in Python is very easy. If you want entered data in a particular data type structure, you can you just have to say like integer. I just have to say int at the int. I what I have done, I have enclosed input function with int. So whatever there will be a input, it will be converted to string. Now repeat the same process and let's see the output. What is the type of variable A? Okay, so here it is asking to enter something. Let's say same number 45. Okay, so here it is integer. Now it is converted to integer. So what is the conclusion of it? Conclusion is uh, the input function. For the input function, the by default data type for the entered data by the user is a string, and if we want to convert it into another data type, we have to cast it, and for the casting we use different operator functions. Like here I have using the int function here. So this is the basic of the input function, how user can input the data. And let's go with the program, a small program, a tiny program. The beginner, what beginner do at the very first time. Let's make a addition of two number and see if it works or not, because then we can figure by the value we can figure it out it is working correctly or not. Okay, so here I'm saying enter first number. Let's say enter first number, and here I'm going to say enter second number, and to sum is, let's say sum is, and here we can say directly without introducing third variable, we can directly say a plus b. We don't have to say like c equal to a plus b, then print c. No, we can directly say a plus b here, and let's see if it is working or not. We have taken integer here, so let's see. So what I'm going to do, I'm entering 34 here and 23, let's say, and yes, sum is 57. This is correct. So it is working. But here is a question. What if we enter something different like 5.5? Even though it is converting to integer, what if user enter the different data type? It is a numeric, it is in floating nature. 5.5, yeah, it is saying invalid literal for int with base 10. 5.5, here I have typecasted the data in integer and user was trying to enter the float value, so it thrown an error because it is expecting a integer value to be input. So it is a good thing. So let's go further and let's talk about the first data type that we have talked about a string, and we have used a string side a function. There are two functions that we have used here, print and input function, where we have used a string. And let's in the third syntax, let's try to make a string
90
inside
किलोमीटर है लगभग
and let's see what we can do with that string.
एक
So
घंटा
let's say there is a variable called x, and in x I have told you yesterday we can put a string inside a single quote or double quote as whatever we want. Okay, even if there is a single quote or the double quote. So here I'm what I'm going to do here. Hello student.
रानू हम पीछे बैठेंगे तुम अभी आगे बैठ जाओ वो
Someone has unmuted the mic. There is a disturbance. I
इतनी कम जगह है क्या
to all the participants their mic. And mute all the participants.
हाँ मतलब हाँ वो
First.
आगे जब ज्यादा रहता है ना तो
Okay. So I requested to mute the mic of the mic is unmute.
सो मत सोना मत और दवाई खा ली अच्छा पानी तो चाय के साथ खाना चाहिए
Can eliminate the participant.
अरे ये अजीब
Hello student 2 Python.
गुड
So here I have entered two
हाँ
strings.
नहीं आई एम गुड
Actually, it is very disturbing. I am requesting admin to Amo Narvaria, please mute your mic, please. Thanks. So there are two variables x and y, and in both these variables I'm storing a data, and let's first print these variables. Print x, and in the same we can print both the variables, print x comma y. Okay, let's see what is happening here. Here, hello student to Python workshop. Okay, so I have given two string, and I'm storing these two string in a variable, and I'm printing these variable in a single print statement. What if I do it in a double print statement? Let's say another print statement where I'm printing the another variable. What it say? I have already talked about it yesterday. If we do multiple print statement, then it will show the data in separate line. This is a Python, and here for every print statement, we get data in separate line. And if there are multiple print statement, and even though we want data in a single line, what we can do? Uh, so here, what I'm using, this is a comma and equal to single quotes. Okay. And inside the single quote, there is nothing, neither a space, nothing. And what is it is doing? It is making data in a single line. So you can take a note of it. If there are multiple print statement, what we can do in the ascending line of the print statement, we can use and equal to single quotes, or even the double quotes without any thing inside the quotes. Okay, so it will maintain your data in a single line. For two of the lines, it will make the data in a single line. Okay, and here what else we can do without this print statement? Can we concatenate it? I have already shown you for the concatenation. If I do like this, c equal to x plus y, what it will do, it will concatenate it in a single line with the variable c. Let's say print c. Let's see what it is going to do. Okay, so it is making it in a single line. Okay, so this is about the brief introduction of the string. I have given you the brief introduction of the arithmetic operator and the logical operators as well. And let's go further, and let's talk about some basic conditional statement, if else statement in Python. And we can use logical operators there. Okay, so what conditional statement we have in Python? We have if. We can use only if statement. If we don't want to anything and there is a single statement for to apply the condition, we can use only if. We have if else, and we have, if there are multiple conditions, we can use if elif else, where elif can be multiple. So let's go with it, and let's take an example of that. Sorry. Okay, so for the conditional statement, let's take a note of it. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about, I'm going to talk about the conditional statement. Okay, and what we have here, if elif, and we have here else. If elif, say it is actually a combination if elif else. Okay, so we can use these conditional statement in our program, whatever conditions we want for a particular module or a particular logic, we can use accordingly. So let me throw you an example. Let's take let's find out whether a number is even or not. It is a very basic one. So let's take integer input from the user, and in message, let's say enter any integer, so that user can understand it is asking for integer, and it he or she will not give any other kind of data like a string or the float. So I'm going to use first time the conditional statement here. So for what we have to do to apply conditional statement here, we just have to say if, and if after the if, I have to put the condition here. So what is the condition for even number? If a modulus 2 equal to 0. So here it is a condition. Here it is a if condition, and after the if condition, here it is a condition, and to close it with the condition, yeah, this is packed if condition. Here I have let me repeat it again. Here it is a if keyword, and after that there is a condition, if condition, and in whatever we want inside the if, we have to give a indent block. What is the indent block? It is a 4 tab space generally. It can be different according whatever the setting you have done with your text editor or IDE. There can be 5, 6, or 7, whatever you set it up, but by default it is 4. Okay, so when I press and enter here, you can see it is giving some space in line number 26. If you see here, there is a line number also. You can see there is a space here. This is called a indent block, and whatever we want to write inside this if condition, we can give our indent block and write it here. So I'm saying that print a comma is a even number. Okay, so I'm saying here a is an even number. Okay, so let's run it. So let's give a even number and see if it is recognizing it or not, if our if condition is going well or not. Let's say 42. Okay, and hit enter. It is saying 42 is an even number, but what if I give a odd number to this program? Okay, so let's give 23, and it is doing nothing. Why it is doing nothing? Because after our input, it is seeing this if statement, and this statement is written inside if, and what here in the case of 23, what is happening here, a modulo 2 equal to 0. So 23 modulus 2 equal to 0, it is actually not. So if false, so it is not going inside the if statement, it is going outside, and we are not getting anything. But what if there is a odd number or not a even number, but we want the output or result? What we can do, there are two things we can apply. First, we can apply another if statement that will check uh, for the odd number condition. But will that be a efficient way? Let's do it and see what we have to do in case of odd number. So in case of odd number, we know the condition if a modulus 2 not equal to 0. Yes, I'm using exclamation mark for not sign not equal to 0, as we use in other programming languages as well. Then I'm saying a is odd number. So what here we are doing, we have to apply condition again and again if we are using multiple if statement. Let's run it and see what it is doing for the same number that I have given last time, that is 23, and it is saying 23 is an odd number. Okay, 23 is an odd number, but so how multiple if statement working here? So first it said a modulus 2 equal to 0 for a equal to 23, and as the condition is false, it is not going inside, and then it is checking the another if condition. Okay, so if there are multiple if condition, then it will check all the condition one by one. This is a point that you should remember always, you can think it is not a big deal, it is not a big point, I can understand it, but there is a question here in conditional statement. When I will go further, what is the difference between if, multiple if statement, and if else for the multiple conditions? So in if, it will execute all the condition, it will read through all the condition and do the work accordingly. If there are multiple if condition that is that are satisfying the, you know, condition, it will throw output for all. And if there is if elif else, what it will do, I we will see later. But let's see what we can do here to optimize it. Here we don't have to put condition multiple time, we can just simply use else. Okay, we don't have to give condition in if clause um, every time, we can just simply use else. So what it will do, if it will first check the condition, if a modulus 2 equal to 0, and if it is an even number, it will give the print statement, and else so here I'm using else. So whatever the else, if it is not even, so the whatever it is, it will throw odd here. So let's see. Let me give the same number or the different one. 13 is an odd number, 13 is an odd number. Here is the example, here it was the example for if else condition. But how if elif else work? Okay, so what if we want to put extra condition for 0? No, not for 0. Let's take another example where number can be three things. Let's say um, what we can do for if else. Okay, no problem. I'm out of example now. I think for if else. Let's go further, and I will think about if there can be any example for if else. It is a basic introduction of the conditional statement here. And after conditional statement, let's go with a looping statement as well, how we can give loops in Python. So for loop, we have basically two loops in Python. First one is for loop, and the second one is while loop. And for the for loop, we can use it in a multiple ways. So let's give you the introduction of the for loop. Then we'll talk about the different data structure in Python, like list, tuple, sets, dictionary as well. So first, have a look on the for loop statement. So to for a looping statement, and if we want to run a loop, then we can just simply say for I in range, let's say 10. So what it is doing here, always remember, if we are using any conditional statement, looping statement, function, classes, or anything where there it require a inside code block, then you have to give the indentation. As here I'm using the for loop, and what for loop I have to give some code that gonna inside this for loop, then I have to give the indent block here. Okay, so if I want to run for loop for the 10 time, what I have to do, I'm writing here for I in range 10. It can be little bit confusing for you, but if I write just equivalent code for C language, that is a very basic language for a for loop, you will be able to understand clearly what I have written here in Python. So what we do in C, we initialize, we do like this. For what I say, for I equal to 0, I less than equal to less than 10 actually, and I plus plus. Okay, and after that we give presses, and inside these presses we do the things that should run inside the for loop. We do like this. There is a variable initializer which runs from 0, and it will run from 0 to 9, that is 10 times. 0 to 9 is 10 times, and it is going to be increment one by one. It is the same thing, exactly the same thing that I have written here for I in range 10. I will start from 0 and it will run 10 times. That means the value of I will go to 0 to 9, and it will increase the data one by one. It is exactly the same that I have written for C, and that I have written for Python. It is exactly the equivalent of the same code. If I talk about the logic, it's actually the same. So let's run it and let's see the output for our Python code that I have written here. For I in range 10, you can see here I have given an indent block here for I in range 10. What if I print I here? Okay, what if I print I here? You can see it goes from 0 to 9. It ran for 0 to 9. But what if I don't want to start it from 0? I don't want to start it from 0. What can I do? So in range function, you can see range here. In range function, I have given only a single argument. And what the single argument is doing, it is actually counting the loop, how much time the loop will run. Actually, it is going to run 10 times. You can see the output in output screen 0 to 9. It is actually 10 times. So it is running the loop 10 times. But what if I don't want to start it from the 0? So you can just simply give let's say I want it to start from 2. Then no problem, just you can give another argument at the starting that will tell you about the start support index. Here you can see the some uh, recommendation or some help function from the IDE. It is saying supports index. Okay, start support index and end support index. Okay, so this is the IDE. That's how it is, very useful or very convenient. So it is going to start from 2. Let's see the output. 2 to 10. Yeah, 2 to 9. It is running from 2 to 9. Loop is running from actually the 10 times, but it is not starting from 0. It started from 2. So what it escaped, 0, 1, and it is going to 2 to 9. It is actually 10 times, but it is starting from 2. Okay, I have given the step of 1, that means increment of 1 for every number. 2 there, after 2 there is a 3, after 3 there is a 4, after 4 there is a 5. It is an increment of 1. What if we want increment of 2? What can we do here? We can introduce third argument here, and in third argument, what if I say 2? Actually it will give increment of 2 instead of 1. So here you can see after 2 there is a 4. It is starting from 2. So it start from 2, and as it is an increment of 2, what will be your the second number? It is actually 4. And after 4, another increment, you can see 6, just like this here in output screen. Okay, so in we can introduce for loop with one argument, two argument, and three argument. So if it is a single argument, then it will tell you how many times the loop will run, and it will start from 0. this is a important point to remember. Loop will start from the zero for introductory variable. Introductory variable, what is introductory variable for the loop? Here, as I have used I, it is an introductory variable for the loop. If you will give a single argument, then it will tell how many times loop will run and from where it will start. It will start from zero. If you will give two argument inside a for loop, then the first argument will tell from where the loop will start, and the second argument how many times loop will run, but it will skip the initial points. So if there is a 2 to 10, it will give output from 2 to 9. It will always skip the last portion of the loop if there are two arguments. Let's do it with example again, so you can understand it in better way. For I, let me use my initial loop, or there will be multiple output and it will be confusing. So what if guess the output? I'm writing here guess the output. What if I write 23 and 99? What will be the output? Loop will start from 23, exactly from the 23, but it will not result to 99. Suppose if there was only one argument, 99, from where to where it will go? It will go to 0 to 98. So when there is a first argument 23, I'm saying here, so what will be the output? From 23 to 98, actually it will always skip the end portion of the argument. So let's see the output. So here you can see where it started 23, okay, and where it end 98, okay. And what if I give increment of 3 here? What if I give increment of 3 here? Let's see. It is 98 here, exactly the end point, and you can see 23, then 26. It is incrementing value by 3 every time, okay. So it was a basic introduction of for loop, and I can give you a problem statement here. You can try this problem statement here. So there are some question from my side to all of you. If you are attending a workshop, then you should try these programs. First, you can use for loop to print even numbers in a given range provided by user. Okay, you can try this, and at the same time there can be a one more problem that you can try. That is it is a second problem. Not only the even number, after making the even number program, don't understand the odd will be the same, just try it. Okay, you can write a program, uh, write a program. User, I have written user here. You write a program, let's say write a Python program and use loop for loop to print even numbers in a given range provided by the user. Yeah, this is the first problem. And second, of course, for the odd number. Okay, let's see odd here. And I have told you about the arithmetic operators as well. You can, for the third program, you can write a program in Python, write a program in Python, to calculate compound interest. Yeah, this will be a very good practice if you write these programs to print even number, odd number, and to calculate the compound interest. It will be a really good practice for you. See, if you can't learn Python programming language just by seeing a video or any online lecture or reading a book. You have to do this. Yeah, you have to do this to learn about the syntax and anything, but you can develop logic. That is a very important and mind for a particular programming language, and the data knowledge of data structure, where and why to use this particular kind of data structure only by practicing more and more. So practice these programs, and we will catch up tomorrow as well at the same time, 10 a.m. IST, Indian Standard Time, and we will go further with the data structure and other thing as well. And tomorrow as well, I will give you some problem. You can try these problems, okay, by yourself, and yeah, you can identify it as wrong or right just by seeing the output. Here it is an advantage of learning a programming language. You can see how you can identify it whether you are right or wrong just by seeing the output for different scenario. Okay, so bye bye. We will meet tomorrow at the same time, 10 o'clock. Over to you, Bushra ma'am or Nurul sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Indeed, it was a great informative session. And I'm immensely thankful to the coordinators, Dr. Nurul Islam from Kanpur Institute of Technology and Professor V.V. Rantang for arranging this session. I hope you would have learned a lot from both of the days, and we will definitely meet tomorrow at the same time, 10 a.m. sharp, to learn more and enhance our knowledge of Python. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Busra ma'am, and thank you, Professor V.V. Rantung. And we will meet tomorrow same time. Thank you. Now you close. You can close.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Mr. Gore.